of our story this morning is dressed kind of in baggy tuxedos, cinched at his waist, a little bit too long in the legs. And he's descending the staircase of the palace, the princess on his arm, completely, dressed in very regal princess clothes. His wife is coming along behind him on the arm of the prince. And they come down the palace stairs and are seated at the head table. He's going to give the speech for the evening. Now, not long before this distinguished royal festive gathering, he has been, the guy in the cinched up tuxedo, has been laboring for years in his laboratory. And his laboratory was situated in the basement of the University of Wisconsin. The sump pump in his tissue culture lab, and the radiator pipes for the whole building running through his biochemistry lab. No journal, no scientific journal will publish his papers. He's doing research on viruses. He's a pariah at, academic gatherings. In fact, people have begun whispering that he's crazy. At the height of his research, he has at the most 2 or 3 postdoctoral students. So, he has 2 technicians, lab technicians, just a couple of postdoctoral students. But he persists, he keeps working away. And Professor Howard Timmons discovers, what he's working on is, the established dogma of that day is that DNA goes in one direction to RNA. It does not go the reverse direction. Now, I'm not a biochemist, so I love that language, though. But what he has, what not he has discovered, it's been discovered before this, but the mechanism hasn't been discovered, is that in some viruses, RNA goes in the opposite direction, which means that it can replicate itself, right? It can take over and begin replicating. This is what happens in some cancers, and that's what he's doing. He's studying viruses and cancer at a time when nobody is interested. There's no money in it, there's no prestige, there's nothing. There's sump pumps in your tissue culture lab. But Howard Timmons discovers the mechanism that we know of as retroviruses. And he wins a Nobel Prize for that in medicine, for that research. He has laid the groundwork. He's worked on the shoulders of some people who have come before him who have also labored in absolute obscurity. But he and David Baltimore, who's his compatriot, who actually discovers this mechanism separately from him at the same time, so they share this Nobel Prize. That work lays the groundwork then for when the AIDS virus hits in the 1980s, that not only is it discovered what's causing AIDS, but a medicine for it in an incredibly short period of time, 10 years. During that 10 years, it devastates whole communities around the world. But in the history of, new viruses, that's a very, very short period of time to discover what this thing is and what to do about it. And it's all because of people like Howard Timmons, who persisted in their laboratory, doing unsung work at the lowest seat of the table, right? This low seat at the table that Jesus is talking about in the parable, in his, don't worry about sitting up at the high seat. Just take the low. It doesn't matter what seat you're sitting in. It doesn't matter. What matters is the work. What matters is your heart. What matters is your wholeheartedness of doing what's in front of you to do, of doing what God has called you and has placed in your heart. What dream, what longing, what passion has God put in your way? It might be, very simple. I don't think any of us, unless I just don't know, are laboring in secret on something that's going to change the course of the world. Anybody here? Don't think so. But what we do have in front of us is, painting, drawing blood, making a will, teaching. All the things that we labor at, right? We have that in front of us to do. And it doesn't really matter. If we can get away from, well, is anybody going to notice what I'm doing? Is it going to receive any acclaim? Is it going to receive any affirmation? When we can leave that aside, am I ever going to be invited to the head table? Am I ever going to be noticed by the, upper echelon, whatever, in your field? When we can leave that aside and just approach what it is that we're doing, recovering from illness, taking care of grandchildren, whatever it is, when we can approach it with our whole heart and simply do that work with to the fullest extent that we can, then it becomes holy work. It becomes sacred. And it becomes life-giving and enriching. And then it doesn't matter if we ever give a speech in front of the 75th, anniversary of the Nobel Prizes. It doesn't matter if we get published in the poetry magazine. What matters is that we have put our lives, we have given our lives to something or to someone. And that will fill us up. The life-giving waters of God will fill us up and give us wealth, right? True wealth, deep joy, the water of life. And in the end, time will go by very fast, and before you know it, my friends, we will be gathered around the heavenly banquet. We won't care whether we've ever sat at the head banquet here or not. What we'll most care about is hearing the words said to us, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Let us step into our lives, whatever they are, with wholeheartedness, not worry whether we're at the head of the table or the lowest seat at the table, because God is in all those places. Amen.